Our next inductee was not a skater, not a coach, and not a judge, but had a major impact on the officiating process that moved our sport from a generation of handwritten results into an era of computer-generated real-time results.
With all major transitions in technology and life, someone inevitably gets fed up with the status quo and decides to try and make improvements using new tools and ideas. Jack Zaleski was that person, and to make sure the story is well documented with historical accuracy, we interviewed Jack about how all of this came about.
So, here is how it started.
1971, Peterborough, Ontario. The Peterborough Figure Skating Club hosted the final North American Championships that year, the year that Karen Magnuson defeated Janet Lynn in the ladies' final. My boss was the chairman of the event, and he had an interest in figure skating. He was the chairman of the figure skating club at the time, and he knew that figure skating accounting or calculation of results was all done manually. And a result typically would take 30 minutes to complete before the skaters and the audience knew who the final winner was. We were in the computer department at General Electric, and he came to me and a couple of other fellows and said, look, can we program a computer to compute the results for this event? And I said, sure, give me a couple, 3 guys, and we can put something together. If we can get access to a computer remotely, we can do this. He arranged for us to use the Honeywell computer in Toronto with dial-up modem. Back in those days, we used to dial up a telephone, plug it into a hand modem, connect to a computer, run the program through that way. Everything was done on paper tape back in those days. When we created the program, we had to produce it on hard copy. It was paper tape, quite interesting, and everything was fed back in through a teletype machine into the computer.
Now, after the accomplishment of utilizing computers for the instant results, there was more to discover.
It wasn't any more about the skaters and media, but also very much about the live audience. Knowing what was happening during the competition brought a whole new level of entertainment. Here's Jack on the application to video boards.
The program developed or evolved over the years from 1984-85 through the late 80s and 90s, and many of the things that we tried to do was to enhance the experience, number one, for the spectators and, of course, for the skaters, and, of course, even more importantly, for the media. And what we were able to do as time went along was to start providing the media with a direct feed of the results to their own monitor, which we gave them. And then ultimately, we also gave them a printer so they could print the results off directly. That gave them an instant result at their station after the last skater's marks were actually posted. We progressed from there, and we got to a point where highlight in my career was when we discovered that we could actually interface with a large scoreboard that is in most arenas these days, in most large arenas, and we could actually put the results up on the scoreboard so that the entire audience could see the results as each skater completed his event. They could now see the order of the skaters as the event progressed, and they could see the final order of skaters after the final skater. So that was a major accomplishment.
It was becoming clear that Jack and many that worked alongside him were moving the sport into the modern technological era of the time, bringing quicker results and providing entertainment and suspense to the events.
Well, there was one particular event in time that suspense was at the highest level, because as we all know, as wonderful as technology is, there are times when something goes not according to plan. Here's Jack on one of those moments.
A memorable part of that was 1984 at the World Championships in Ottawa. It was the year that Bob Martini and Barbara Underhill won the Paris Championship. It's memorable because after they skated, the entire audience jumped over the rails of the arena onto the walk area around the rink. In so doing, they unplugged our computer. And we lost connection with our computer when we're unable to generate an instant result. We had to plug our system back in, sign into the computer, re-enter the marks for the event to produce a result. I remember That's a memory I will never forget, watching Paul Martini looking up anxiously at the commentator from CTV to see what the final result was, because rather than getting it instantaneously, it took about 5 minutes to finally let him know that he and Barbara had won the gold medal.
Having been a skater for many years and a TV commentator, I have seen firsthand the development of technology in this sport. The people like Jack who quietly work through problems to bring more to the skating community and the live TV audiences are never really known or celebrated. But tonight we have the opportunity as a skating family to say thank you, Jack, for your passion and determination.
And one last story. Many of you might know that Jack is married to Donna Lee Mitchell, one of our last year's Hall of Fame inductees. Donna Lee's was a skating accountant for many years, and her mother, Billy Mitchell, Jack's mother-in-law, was the premier results accountant at the same time Jack was asked to develop the computer system.
Now, Billy had a reputation and was known as the fastest gunslinging figure skating accountant in the business. And at the time, the addition of technology was not welcomed by all. But Billy received it with open arms, luckily for Jack, for no one dare go up against Billy.
We have thanked and welcomed most of the Mitchell family into the Skate Canada BC Hall of Fame, and now it is time for the son-in-law, Jack. We thank you for your vision and for your persistence in moving our beautiful sport into, at the time, a new era of computers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to welcome into the Skate Canada BC Hall of Fame, Mr. Jack Zaleski.
I was told by many people, including my wife, that my remarks tonight should either be humorous or brief. I have chosen brief to the benefit of all of you who are here. In my 26 years in figure skating, I did what I loved to do with no particular expectation. But in fact, I met many wonderful people during that time, made many wonderful friends, and fell in love with and married my best friend, Donna Lee. One of my most memorable moments and times was chairing the 1997 Canadian Championships, just before I retired from skating. And that was a great event. But this great honor that you have bestowed upon me tonight is the culmination of that great career. And all I can say is thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.